Going to do a quick video here on how to replace these disc brakes, upgrade to the MP Brakes Ralley series. And the first step, you need to remove the two 9/16 bolts to get the caliper out of the way. You will also need the 9/16 brake line pulled out too. Next up, remove the dust cap from the rotor. Remove the cotter pin, brass ring around it, and the 1 1/8 nut to get the rotor off. You can also remove the dust shield for brake dust by removing the three 13mm bolts. Remove the two bolts, 13/16 and 3/4, to remove the caliper bracket. Once the spindle is clean, that's what it'll look like. Or clear, I'm going to say clean. You'll want to remove the brake line. The next part was a little bit confusing. It calls for this bolt right here, hex head top, to go in the lower portion near the steering arm. And the M10 to go in the upper. But what I've found, this piece slides through the upper part. And this goes straight in there. It's a hex head bolt. Sorry for the bad camera work, greasy hands. And this one will screw through from the back. Into the caliper bracket. Okay, this one gets torqued down to 55 pounds, and this one gets torqued down to 65 pounds. That's what it looks like when it's in. I went ahead and reinstalled this guide plate so it can guide in the back of the hub a little easier. One last thing. These caliper brackets are side specific. 661 for the driver's side and 662 for the passenger side. Install the rotor, the castle nut, and the guard. Then you have to go through a sequence of about 3 or 4 times of tightening the nut down, 5 to 10 pounds of torque, and loosen it. Make sure you're spinning. Tighten it again, and loosen it. Spin it again, then tighten it down, and spin it one last time, and then put your cotter pin in. And once that's finished, put the dust cap on. The reason why you torque it down 5 to 10, 3 or 4 times and spin it is to make sure that the bearings are set. Install the caliper. Pull the brake pads out first and just tighten the nuts down just a little bit. And then, per their instructions, you measure 4 different areas inside here, from the inside up and down and from the outside, to make sure that you have the same tolerance. or area. And if you don't, they give you supplied shims that you can put in there to make it fit just perfect. And if you have extra play, that will cause noise, brake squeal. So make sure that that is good to go. Okay, got it installed again. I did the measuring and it was pretty close, but I noticed when I turned the wheel, one of these brake holders clips was dragging just a little bit. So I cheated. I went ahead and just looked at the size of the brake clips and seen how close they were to the rotor, and just so happened that this one right here was the one that was dragging. So I used 1 or 2 shims and it moved it away, and I remeasured everything and it was almost spot on. And as you can tell, no dragging. One of the last steps, install your stainless steel brake hose, and 1 copper washer goes under and 1 goes over, and bolt that in. Make sure you're not binding anywhere, and that piece right there will hook on to a C-clip or a hose bracket. Mine actually wasn't going to work because I don't have a hose bracket. That's what I have right there. So this bolts right there to the frame, and the brake line from inside the engine compartment goes right into there. So what I have to do is, MP Brakes also sells a universal hose bracket, which this will plug into, and the C-clip will plug right into that, locking it to your frame, which I'm going to bolt into the existing holes. And then the line from inside the car will bolt or screw straight into there. As you can see, mine's in. Steel line, steel braided line will come over, and I'll put the bracket right there in the existing holes, and it'll bolt like that. Also, the caliper bolts down 85 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, here's the other side finished. Looks pretty good. Now I just got to hook up the new brake lines, flush it, and she'll be good to go. This is unscripted, as you guys could tell. So sorry for the bad camera work and the lighting. I was stuck on the other side, didn't have a lot of room. But this will give you an idea. I searched the internet when I was having issues, found nothing. So hopefully this will help 1 or 2 of you out there that are trying to do this. I'm not a mechanic, as you guys can tell, but I am able to figure stuff out. So good luck, guys.